You know what? I don't believe in coincidences. I really, really don't, honestly. And why did they shut me down at that time? I just checked my internet speed. It's blazing fast. Look, man, they don't want this information out there, and you guys and girls all know that. I sincerely hope that you got to see the first half of this, and then we're gonna start here where I finished. I tell you, man, this is too much, honestly. Look, guys and girls, this is what I told you. I ended the last video, my first part of this live stream, explaining what's happening here. The setup is simple. The Federal Reserve will use every avenue imaginable and things that you can't even believe to continue to inflate, whether it's another scamdemic, whether it's burning down an entire state, whether it's more war, imperialism, I don't care what it is. This is what they're going to do collectively, central banks around the world. People, you and me, it's a wipeout. I've been telling you this like forever. So the setup is very, very simple. What's happening here? Okay. As I said, Trump was selected. Please do not freak out on me. Take a deep breath. Nobody get triggered here for two reasons and two only. Number one, to bridge the system, to make us the crypto capital world, to mainstream crypto, to deregulate the banks, deregulate and merge cryptocurrencies, to allow us to start to trust that system. The dollar, okay, it's a dying asset. We all know that. Central bank issued notes around the world, dying assets, okay. The move to this one world system has begun right here in the United States, and we are leading the way, as Trump said, to the crypto capital of the world. You understand? The setup is simple here. With regard to the second reason why Trump was selected was to help the Federal Reserve bring rates to more than likely negative. Trump is a proponent of this. Again, don't get triggered. Don't flip out. Look at what he said during the last tenure. Boneheads, not going negative. The Fed needs to lower rates, blah, blah, blah. Lowering rates means currency purchasing power loss, and you lose. He can't tell you that. He can't also tell you that's the Fed's plan. But what they're going to set up here is very, very simple. As the economy continues to crater everywhere, and here in the United States as well, the setup is going to be Trump is going to start calling out the Fed, lower rates, lower rates. The Fed's going to fire back and say, we will lower rates when appropriate. Let's see if they leave me on, because this is where they cut me off last time. Okay. That back and forth thing is going to lead to the Fed obviously doing what they want to do, and that is cut rates, lower rates. Lowering rates allows every central bank to inflate. It causes them to obviously devalue the currency. Now it takes more currency to buy anything. You get pressured. You understand? They are not done in any way, shape, or form creating dependency on the system that exists as they thrust us into the new system, which we don't want and we did not vote for. I think I can speak for every single one of us here that we would rather have a constitutional money system. I personally, and I think like I said, I can speak for everybody. We would like to see a return to a constitutional money system, not the crypto capital of the world. Are we on the same page? But that's what we're getting anyway. This was being set up prior to the selection here. Prior to it, again, there was no election. You may think that there was, and you may believe in a dead system. It's the truth. You still believe in the tooth fairy as well. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to burst anyone's bubble here. But the fact of the matter is, they put whoever they want in a position to keep the people distracted, make them angry, whatever they got to do to divide the people, not to bring them together here. From the Trump to the creature Biden to the Trump again here. Now the society has already been conquered. We're divided and we are a conquered society. We cannot come together on an issue. I've told you this has been their design, why things are the way they are. Should be pretty obvious. But going back to what we're seeing here, nothing. It's no accident here why we have a global economy in free fall. Again, the common thread that no one is going to tell you, okay, but it should make sense to you just by, looking at what's happening here, is artificially suppressed rates, currency, purchasing power destruction, which is an economic destroyer. It doesn't build the economy. You have to understand. This is called quantitative easing. Okay, when a central bank, any central bank, institutes a policy of buying all the debt, monetizing the debt, stimulating a free fall economy, it's done temporarily, kind of like a drug. Let's say like adrenaline. Let's say someone's in heart failure, they're pumping adrenaline in there. At one point, that adrenaline becomes toxic and the patient dies. The same situation here. But here, they want the patient to die slowly and suffer here. The mechanism, again, of central banks inflating the system, again, and everything you see, things of nightmares like what's going on right now. You and I called it. They're not done. This is just one other element to it because, again, it's going to fall on you. It's going to fall on the federal government. Forget about credit default swaps. Again, these insurers, the ones that do exist and the ones that bought the credit default swap, they're not going to be held to account. You are. It's already being set up on the mainstream meter. They're telling you who's going to be responsible, and it's going to be you. And again, you meaning the debt is going to be put on your back for everything else, because it's the Federal Reserve who's going to supply all the cash that is needed to keep the system liquid. Blocked, why? Because they don't want people to hear this stuff, Madison. It should be pretty obvious. Oh, you're blocked? No, you're not blocked, Madison. I would never block you. Me, on the other hand, I'm surprised I'm still out here, man. They're playing games. Oh, anyway, guys and girls, look, it's out of control what we're seeing, but it's exactly the way they've planned this out here. Even the timing of this, okay, just before the inauguration. Come on, do you really honestly believe that this is just by accident too? Nothing is. Nothing. Wait till you see where this is going to go. And with regard to the price, what's happening right now? I told you, you have energy. As we called what happened. You got natural gas surging. You got crude oil surging. Everything is shipped via a mechanism using energy. Those costs are going to be passed on to you, just like tariff costs are. We have tariffs right now. How many of you know that? How many of you know that all of Trump's tariffs are already in effect? Biden did it. You couldn't know that. It wasn't even brought up. Actually, I believe that Trump did raise that during the run-up and the debate too. But we're going to be adding more tariffs. But again, who pays for the tariffs? Oh, yes, it's the importers and exporters, and they pass that on to you. It's going to work out real well. This part of the mechanism here of pressuring people, we are going to be forced to suffer and endure much more moving forward as the economy is deliberately taken apart piece by piece. But they're going to have a solution for you. They're going to have a solution. Just be ready for it. Part of it is the bridge to the system, the crypto system, making you used to it, getting you comfortable with it. They want you to accept it. Then they can make the real move. This is just a bridge to the full tokenized system. You understand? And everyone knows it. Everybody knows it. That's what drives me crazy, but no one's pushing back against it. And why would people push back against it? They're going to push back against the system that they've created so much dependency on? Of course not. No one's going to push back. Again, they've been conquered. It's absolutely out of control. And I don't think they've lost control at all, kings, salmon, fish. They're in full control. And everything that we're seeing is deliberate. Thank you. Lion of Norway. Awesome, man. Great name. Love that. Anyway, guys and girls, look, I'm sitting here preaching to the choir. We're going to have to see where this goes from here, honestly. So evolution, look. Do I think it's evolution when you have a handful of people thrusting the people of the world, the multitudes down a particular pathway? I don't think that's evolution. I think this is a deliberate means of destruction. And what else would you expect when you have a people that can't unify, that can't stand up against anything? Number one, because again, they feel like they can't do anything about it. They have a sense of learned helplessness. Two, I think that people just don't have the guts anymore. Not you and me. We call it out here. we at least are trying to raise awareness as to what's happening, why it's happening here. But I just look, man, if you take anything away from this, is understand yet again, this episode here, they'll burn down an entire state, they'll burn down half the nation, they'll do whatever they got to do to allow the system to inflate, because the fact is, without another mechanism to keep the system liquefied, as you already know, it operates in a perpetual vacuum. That's the nature of the debt-based system. So they have to come up with reasons, things that are real, things are made up, things that are man-made, warp speeds, whatever it is, they got to put it on you. Again, to allow, again, who runs the system? Who's the core? What runs the financial system? Always follow the money, and you can find out who benefits here. We lose. In this case, of course, it's the central banks. They win. That's it. And their goal is to own it all. Imagine being a central bank who can do whatever they want with their product with no oversight. Zero. Oh, there is calls to raise that debt ceiling so we can continue to borrow. I thought we were supposed to be cutting on spending here. We were going to cut that vastly back. Oh, no, we're going to raise the debt ceiling. And then not just raise the debt ceiling, we're going to suspend it in perpetuity. So our loving, caring representatives can't tell us why they're going to keep inflating, because they can't tell you, not a single one, from the president-select on down, what's really going on. You understand? But you and I know it. We already know it. We're too slick. We're too slick. Anyway, guys and girls, we're kind of there. Right, now, before we get out of here, between these two videos, it's been kind of long. Is there anything you guys and girls want to cover specifically before we get out of here? Stack food, obviously, people, very important here. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, because I've been telling you already. Expect supply chain disruptions. And they're going to blame it on whatever they're going to blame it on here. Okay. Expect much higher prices. Again, they can't tell you that it's the fact that rates are being cut, as the Fed is doing, and the calls for lower rates, which is destroying the purchasing power of the currency. Okay. Which is an economic wrecking ball. You all know that. To have a strong economy, you need what? A strong currency. To have a strong currency, you need what? A corresponding rate of interest high enough to support the purchasing power of the currency. How come nothing like that has ever come out of the mouth of like a politician? Okay, maybe Ron Paul, but you won't hear that out of any puppet today. They can't tell you that. They have to distract you with nonsense and tell you that and blame this group of people or this person. It's all, again, it's a game to assign blame. Once a blame is assigned and you can convince people of it, real or not, you're done. They got your brain and you become a slave. Sound about right? You know it is. All of you here. You know it's all right. Alan, how are you, buddy? Good to see you here. I love that. Alan Satoshi Greenspan's freaking great. Guys and girls, in energy projection, look, man, they don't want the solar energy. You know that. They want to drill. They want to do all that. Of course, there are alternatives, but you can't know these things as well. Whatever, man. I think personally we should be investing in renewable energy. We're killing ourselves via the air and the food and everything else. But that's okay, right? How's the dog, Thomas Cindy? She's doing okay. Doctor says she's doing all right. And so we're on the right track. So yes, market risk is extreme, Billy Box. We're at an extreme level. Here we are. It's pretty freaking ugly. Anything else you guys and girls want to cover before we get out of here? Honestly, you think we I know I have a drag car and it does burn C16, $24 a gallon. Could you believe that? And do you realize I burn up about 1.5 gallons per run in 8 seconds? 1.5 gallons in 8 seconds. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, guys and girls, I think what's my take on XRP? If you must be new here, I love XRP. I made a recent purchase before the big run up in XRP, as a matter of fact. I'm happy to say that. I think it's something that you need in your portfolio, especially as we're being thrust into this new thing. The highest MMRI score right here since the publication of the MMRI. When we started the MMRI, we were in the green. All right. And the market was ripping higher. We can't do anything right now. We did put a gain on the Dow today. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where this goes, guys and girls. You know that. Oh, anyway. Look, guys and girls, I love you all from the heart. I had nothing to do, obviously, with they shut me off last time. I'm surprised. Look, the information that we talk about here, I can't imagine where you're going to get this stuff from. But I want to tell you something that's going to bother me. I want to say it one more time. With regard to the insurers over here, you're going to be responsible for this, despite the fact that they have credit default swaps. In other words, they package up their debt, their risk. They sell this off to the investment banks who are supposed to pay via the credit default swap. But what you're being told, and this is what bothers me, the mainstream media is already telling you you're going to pay for it. The federal government, well, hold on a minute. The federal government is completely broke with $37 trillion in debt at face value, not counting derivatives. So the federal government doesn't have the cash. The federal government is going to be sucked out of you because the Fed's going to print it out of nothing, disperse it because they're the real government here, and they're going to add it to the national debt. That's another reason why we have to suspend the debt ceiling. Well, that's what Trump wants, right? Because you can't know what's going on. Are we kind of on the same page here, guys and girls? I think we are. I think we kind of are. You and I are going to part ways just until the morning, people. If you got anything out of this video, please thumbs up, share it, get it out there. Or my first version of this, you got to check that one out, okay? And I will see all of you tomorrow morning. All right, people, look, until you and I, see each other again, and I can see every single one of you right here, please, people, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, all right? See you in the morning.